Have you ever heard a story that traveled across oceans? A story that carried the heartache and hopes of an entire people? Today, let's journey back in time to the sun-scorched cane fields of 19th century Trinidad to uncover the roots of a festival that is as beautiful as it is profound. The story of Hoosay. Picture this. It's the mid-1800s. A ship groans as it docks in the Gulf of Paria, having crossed the vast dark waters from India. On board are indentured laborers, men and women, Hindus and Muslims, all carrying fragments of their homeland in their hearts like precious, fragile embers. They are heading into a life of hardship, cutting sugarcane under a relentless sun, their hands raw, their spirits weary. Among these new arrivals is an elder named Azim. He's a quiet man with silver in his hair and a gaze that seems to look beyond the horizon, back to the world he left behind. He carries very little, but hidden in a fold of his cloth is a small paper moon. It's not just paper. It's a promise, a symbol of a story he has vowed to keep alive. In the evenings, when the back-breaking work is done, and the air is thick with the sweet smell of molasses and the hum of insects, Azim gathers the community. They meet under the sprawling branches of a giant silk cotton tree, tired workers, their children, and even curious Afro-Trinidadians from the nearby village are drawn to his voice. And Azim begins to speak. "Let me tell you about Hussain," he says, his voice a low, steady rhythm. He paints a picture of the scorching deserts of Karbala in what is now Iraq. He tells of a brave leader, Imam Hussain, the grandson of the Prophet Muhammad. Hussain stood for justice and refused to bow to a corrupt ruler, even when his small group of family and followers was surrounded by a massive army. Azim speaks of the tragedy that followed the martyrdom of Hussain and his brother Hussain, the profound grief of their followers, a sorrow so deep it felt as if the world itself shuddered. But this isn't just a tale of loss. Azim infuses it with themes of unwavering courage, fierce loyalty, and a love so powerful it gives people the strength to stand for what's right, even in the face of certain death. The people listen, their faces illuminated by the moonlight filtering through the leaves. They see themselves in this ancient story. They too feel surrounded. They too are far from home and long for freedom. They too carry memories and dreams that refuse to be extinguished by hardship. The story of Hussain becomes their story, a mirror reflecting their own struggle and resilience. When the sacred month of Muharram arrives, the month of Hussain's martyrdom, Azim makes a proposal. "Let us build a taja," he declares. A taja is a model of Hussain's tomb, a shrine of remembrance, a house of light to honor the martyrs. But how? They are in a new land. They don't have the traditional bamboo or gold foil used back in India. But what they do have is ingenuity and a burning desire to remember. They use reeds from the forest instead of bamboo. They use colorful paper and their vibrant imaginations instead of gold. They may not have wealth, but they have willing hands and hearts full of memory. By lantern light, under that same silk cotton tree, the community works together. Men and women weave and build, children fetch water. Drummers get creative, crafting tacit drums from discarded oil tins and goatskin, their rhythms echoing a distant homeland. Slowly, a small but beautiful taja rises from the Trinidadian soil. It is a masterpiece not of riches, but of shared grief, hope, and determination. The first Trinidadian Hoosay is born. On the night of the procession, the air is electric. Torches cast flickering shadows across the cane fields. The tacit drums beat like a collective heartbeat, a sound that is both mournful and defiant. A crowd gathers, a beautiful mosaic of Trinidad's people. Muslims, Hindus, Christians, people of African and Indian descent, and those of mixed heritage all walk together, following the glowing taja through the village. Some weep quietly, lost in the memory of Karbala. Others dance, their movements a celebration of life and spirit. Many just walk in silence, feeling the powerful pull of something ancient, sacred, and deeply human. The procession makes its way to the coast, where the dark waves of the Caribbean Sea lick the shore. As they reach the water's edge, Azim whispers, "Just as the river returns to the ocean, so do the souls of the martyrs return to God." With great care, they lift the taja and set it gently into the water. The waves embrace it, carrying the paper, reeds, and tinsel out to sea. Piece by piece, the story of Hussain dissolves into the deep blue, becoming a part of Trinidad itself. In the years that followed, the Hoosay festival didn't just survive. It blossomed. It grew like a magnificent tree with many branches, absorbing the lifeblood of its new home. The tassa drumming, once a purely Indian rhythm, was infused with the syncopated, joyful energy of Afro-Caribbean beats. Hindu craftsmen, with their incredible artistry, began adding more intricate designs and vibrant colors to the tajas. Muslim families continued to be the keepers of the sacred story, ensuring its core meaning was never lost. Hoosay transformed from a purely religious observance into a powerful symbol of community unity. People came not just to mourn a 7th century martyr, but to celebrate their shared identity as Trinidadians. The tajas grew larger, taller, and more spectacular each year, glittering jeweled temples of memory parading through the streets, and every Muharram communities would gather, remembering Azim's words, "Hoosay is sorrow, yes, but it is also strength. It is mourning, but it is also belonging." But this unity was seen as a threat. In 1884, the British colonial authorities, fearing the power of a united populace, tried to ban the processions. But the people, who had found strength and solidarity in this tradition, refused to be silenced. They stood firm. The tragic confrontation that followed, known as the Muharram Massacre, saw many participants lose their lives. From that day forward, the festival took on yet another layer of meaning. Hoosay became a remembrance not only of Hussain's sacrifice in Karbala, but also of Trinidad's own martyrs of the cane fields, who died fighting for their right to gather and remember. The spirit of Hoosay, forged in defiance, rose higher than any colonial oppression. It became an emblem of Trinidadian resilience. And so, to this day, every year, when the moon hangs high in the sky over places like St. James, Cedros, and villages across the island, the tradition continues. The magnificent tajas, shimmering with tinsel and light, are carried through the streets once more. The thunderous roll of the tassa drums fills the night air. Lanterns sway, casting a warm glow on the faces in the crowd. The eyes of children shine with wonder, taking in the spectacle, in the rhythm of the tassa, in the shimmer of the tajas, and in that sacred meeting of the shrine and the sea. The story of Hussain travels again, from the desert sands of the Middle East to the tropical waves of the Caribbean. It's a testament to the enduring power of memory. For as long as people gather, as long as drums beat, and as long as a story is told, the spirit of Hoosay will rise. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. If you found this story as moving as I do, please like this video, subscribe for more stories from around the world, and share this piece of Trinidad's incredible history. See you next time.